How are you doing, YouTube? My name is Bonanza86, and yes, I am wearing new headphones. They are emoticon headphones that I got from I guess you could say a kid's version of Dave and Buster's. But the reason why I'm doing this video, I'm going to answer a few questions that some people may have about the music project that I just released a week and a half ago called What Comes After Trust. Now, where to begin? My last musical project that was completed was called Trust, and it was released in the summer of 2016. After that, I had sporadic bits of motivation and inspiration that prompted me to record a few songs here and there, but nothing ever materialized into a full musical project. And that ate at me quite a bit. I've been spending a lot of time just being an adult. So I've been working, I've been paying bills, and I really haven't had a chance to really relax because there's always so much on my mind. And usually when there's something on my mind, I would jot it down on a piece of paper and then put it to music. That's where a lot of my songs come from. They come from real life experiences. When I first started making music, much of the time I wasn't telling the truth. I was more into shocking the listener with some outlandish material. I guess shock value would be the correct terminology. And then as I got older and realized the direction where I wanted to go in my musical path, I figured that the best approach to engage the listener would be to tell the truth, tell you where I'm coming from, in life in general. So what comes after Trust? I did not have a title prior to writing this musical project. It started on a Friday, and I believe this was around earlier this month. It was a Friday, and I called my producer and I said, "Hey, Yuri, I want to do an album this weekend. Basically, I'm going to pay you. I'm going to start writing today or tomorrow. I'm going to see how much I can write, and then we're going to record it all in one night. You mix it, master it, and I'll release it the very next day." He's like, "Okay, cool." So I wouldn't say Friday evening. Saturday morning, I attempted to start writing, and you know what happened? I got writer's block. When you haven't really been writing regularly in nearly 4 years' time, and then, having these sporadic bits of you write right here one day. Yeah, the mind takes a while for me to get wired. It's like, okay, what am I going to write about? So that first day was rough. I was struggling for a good 5 or 6 hours as I slowly started churning out this thing. I didn't know how many songs I was going to write. I didn't really know what I was going to write about, but I really need to start somewhere. And the first song I started working on was Routine. Routine was the first song I started working on. That one was tough. That one was really tough. But I somehow managed to squeak out 2 verses, and as far as the chorus, I've had that in my head for 5+ years. See, here's something that y'all probably don't know about me. Usually when I'm here by myself and I have nothing to do, I'll crank up one of the several dozens upon dozens of instrumentals that I have on my CPU, and I'll just freestyle. Like I said, whatever's in my head, it just comes out, comes out. But this particular instrumental, I've had for 10 plus years, and the hook was just in my head. Every day, it's the same routine. Just didn't know what to really to talk about. I can come up with a hook so easily, but coming up with the words that, before and after the chorus, that just takes time. So I started off with routine, and then the second song I worked on was How Does It Feel? And I only managed to get one verse out of that before I was just like, you know what, I can't write anymore. So I initially thought I was going to be recording Saturday night, which was a bit of a disappointment because I only had 1.5 songs to record. That's like nothing. But Yuri called me and said, hey, B, Saturday isn't good. Let's do Sunday. I'm like, all right, cool, perfect. Sunday, I had the day off. I was writing some more. I managed to squeak out Heartbeat. Heartbeat was... Well, I would say Heartbeat is my favorite song on the project. In fact, I was in the studio with Yuri at his old studio when he was working out all the kinks and the beats and all of those, just mixing it together to make Heartbeat. I was like, so he's playing it, he's adding his own little thing to it, and I just started humming, you make my heart beat faster, girl, you do. Mm-hmm. You make my heart beat faster, girl, you do. So, the beat didn't have a title, but since I was singing that repeatedly and just freestyling to it, Yuri said, alright, well, we have a name for this song. It was so upbeat, uplifting. It just makes you want to go out and tell someone you love them. So, mind you, I already had a hook for Heartbeat. I just didn't have words. So writing Heartbeat was pretty fun. Although, I overwrote for this song. The instrumental for Heartbeat is very, very short. It's only a 3-minute song. And then the way the verses are orchestrated, you only get 6 bars before you go to the hook. Then you get 6 more bars. And sorry, for those of you who don't get the lingo, basically you get 3 stanzas, which is 12 lines, before you get to the hook. And then another 12 lines, then you have a breakdown, and then you have a hook. A standard song usually allows you 4 stanzas or 16 lines before you get to the chorus. This beat was orchestrated a bit differently. So I was writing, and I wrote a verse too many for each verse. So when I was practicing, or I was doing a little run through in the studio, I was like, oh snap, I'm saying this extra verse, but the chorus is already taking place. So here's what I did. I improvised. I just went ahead and discarded the last verse for each, the last 4 lines for each verse, and then what you hear is basically the song. And I still think it ends up being pretty good. It's a simple song, but it's still my favorite song. It's positive, it's melodic, it's easily replayable, in my honest opinion. And again, my favorite song on the album. And then the final song that I did was a revisiting of an old song that I had done 2 years ago when I was at a studio in Richmond. And this is when I did a couple of songs that Pun had worked on for me. They weren't fully mixed, but I did do a few songs with Pun. And one of the songs that I ended up writing while I was waiting for him to arrive at the studio was Going Out. In fact, I wrote that outside. I wrote that in 20 minutes. And I was trying to come up with a hook, and I was like, okay, well, this is pretty good. So the first version of Going Out is on my SoundCloud page. It's 2 verses and then the hook, and the hook just repeats forever and ever. And I think I could have done more work on that song. So here's what I did. With Going Out, the remix, I kept most of the first verse that I had done in the previous version, and then I added a brand spanking new second verse to kind of tie everything together. And then I did the hook one last time, and then I let the beat ride out. So I'm not using the entirety of that instrumental. And that is actually the last song on the musical project. Do I like it? Yes, I like the hook. I pretty much like all the hooks on the songs that I did. And one thing I really like about this project is that I didn't tell anybody. What I would do is whenever I would announce a project, I would announce on like my social media, it's like, hey guys, I'm working on a new project. It's going to be out on this day. And then guess what happened? It wouldn't come out. I would be involved in so many postponements, and I hated it. I hated it so much. So this was a pleasant surprise. What better way to surprise the people who have been wanting music from me for years than to do a project sporadically and then boom, release it the very next day? And that's what I did. We recorded Sunday night. He mixed it. I released it on Monday morning, 1 o'clock in the morning. I tagged people in it. I said, achoo! And then there's a link. There's the link to the record. And people were like, what? This is a surprise. So I was very happy about that. Reception has been very positive. I know I have a friend, OG Chris Brown. Shout out to OG Chris Brown. Very honest. He liked some of the songs. He did say that Heartbeat sounded a whole lot like Ralph Tresvant. And I can definitely see why. I'm not really a Ralph Tresvant inspired singer. My musical inspirations and my singing aspirations come from the King of Pop. Let's get that clear. Although Ralph Tresvant, I wouldn't be offended if someone said, you know what, you sound like Ralph Tresvant. Okay, wouldn't be offended. But if you say Michael, MJ, King of Pop, rest in peace. Alright. So, released this project a week and a half ago. I sought out, someone on Discord sought me out because I was looking for an album cover. So, we arranged a price and a timeline on when that would be completed. And the cover came out looking quite wonderful. Quite wonderful. In fact, it mixes my face on the right hand side, and then on the left hand side, the left half is a lion, and there's a symbolism behind that because I am a Leo, a very proud Leo, and Leos are very ferocious, very brave, and Leos are the lions, the kings of the jungle. Very nice. So I'm going to give a big shout out to Aria for doing my album cover. I will leave a link to Aria's coffee in the description of this video. Okay, I think this video has gone on pretty long. I wasn't expecting it to be almost 15 minutes, but I tend to ramble, and if you're subscribed to me, I don't know how to edit for crap. So, thank y'all so much for listening. I will leave a link to my musical project in the description below, along with Aria's Coffee, who made the cover, and I will also have the cover as the header to this video. So guys, thank y'all so much for listening to my little questions and answers about what comes after trust. I do hope to make more music in the future, but as far as to when, I will leave that I'll leave that up in the air. I want to surprise you. I don't want to tell you when it's coming out, but for sure, I really hope to make more music. I am Bonanza86. You guys have a wonderful evening, and I will see y'all again really soon. Bye.